Day 4, General Fabric Covering Process. It is required to have an IA involved in the process or recovering a fabric aircraft, because recovering is a major repair or major alteration. Blanket and envelope. Blanket vs envelope method. Blanket involves multiple flat sections of fabric are trimmed and attached to the airframe. In all cases, the fabric is adhered to the airframe using the approved adhesives, following specific rules for the covering process being employed. Envelope. This method saves time by using pre-cut and pre-sewn envelopes of fabric to cover the aircraft. The envelope must be sewn on with approved machine sewing thread, edge distance, fabric fold, etc. They are also attached by adhesives. Preparation for fabric covering work. First, assemble the materials and tools complete the job. Control of temperature, humidity, and ventilation is needed in the work area. Don't forget your PPE. Prior proper planning prevents poor performance. Removal of old fabric covering. Removal of the old covering is the first step in replacing an aircraft fabric covering. Cut away the old fabric from the airframe with a razor blade or utility knife. Care should be taken to ensure that no damage is done to the airframe. Preparation of airframe before covering. After old fabric has been removed, the exposed airframe structure must be thoroughly cleaned and inspected. The IA collaborating on the job should be involved in this step of the process. Details of the inspection should follow the manufacturer's guidelines, the STC or AC 43.13. When completely cleaned, inspected, and repaired, an approved primer or varnish, if it is a wood structure, should be applied to the airframe. This step is known as dope proofing. Sharp edges, metal seams, the head of rivets, and any other feature on the aircraft structure that might cut or wear through the fabric should be covered with anti-chafe tape. Attaching polyester fabric to the airframe. Inexperienced technicians are encouraged to construct a test panel upon which they can practice with the fabric and various substances and techniques to be used on the aircraft. When the airframe is primed and ready for fabric installation, it must receive a final inspection by A&P with IA. When approved, attachment of the fabric mat begins. The manufacturer's or Stiff C's instructions must be followed without deviation for the job to be airworthy. Seams. During installation, the fabric is overlapped and seamed together. Primary concerns for fabric seams are strength, elasticity, durability, and good appearance. Seam requirements are found in your maintenance manual C, Stack C, or AC 423.13. Fabric cement. A polyester fabric covering is cemented or glued to the structure at all points where it makes contact. The adhesive should be mixed for optimum performance at the temperature at which the work is being performed. Always follow the manufacturer's maintenance manual or your STC guidance. Attaching fabric to the wing rib. Whatever the process, the fabric on wings must be secured to the wing ribs with more than just cement. The forces caused by the airflow over the wings are too great for cement alone to hold the fabric in place. Use the same attach method as used by the original aircraft manufacturer. Deviation requires a field approval. Reinforcing tape of the exact same width as the rib cap is installed before any of the fasteners. Fabric heat shrinking. Once the fabric has been glued to the structure, it can be made taut by heat shrinking. This process is done with an ordinary household iron that the technician calibrates before use. Follow the instructions for the work being performed. Your STC packet. Very important to shrink evenly. The first shrinking is used to remove wrinkles and excess fabric. The final shrinking gives the finished tautness desired. Note, not all fabric covering processes use the same temperature range and maximum temperature, so be sure to follow the appropriate maintenance manual or STC. Rib lacing. There are two types of rib lacing cord. One has a round cross-section and the other is flat. Note, only approved rib lacing cord can be used. Holes are laid out and pre-punched through the skin as close to the rib caps as possible to accept the lacing cord. The spacing between lacing holes and knots must adhere to manufacturer's instructions if available. STC lacing guidelines refers to manufacturer's instructions or to that shown on the chart in Figure 3-25. Rib lacing with polyfiber STC. Coating the fabric. After the sealer coat is applied that saturates and completely surrounds the fibers in the polyester fabric, forming a barrier that keeps water and contamination from reaching the fabric during its life. The next step provides protection from UV light, the only significant cause of deterioration of polyester fabric. This coating contains aluminum solids pre-mixed that block UV ray from reaching the fabric. Polyester fabric repairs. Applicable instructions. Consult the logbook where an approval possibly utilizing practices from AC 43.13 should be recorded. The source of approved data for the covering job is the same source of approved data used for a repair. Repair considerations. Always inspect the damaged area to ensure the damage is confined to the fabric and does not involve the structure below. Puncture damage repair with polyfiber STC. Cotton-covered aircraft. You may encounter a cotton fabric-covered aircraft. In addition to other airworthiness criteria, the condition of the fabric under the finished surface is paramount, as the cotton can deteriorate even while the aircraft is stored in a hangar. Inspection, in accordance with the manufacturer's manual or AC 43.13, should be diligent. Fiberglass coverings. References to fiberglass surfaces in aircraft coverings, STC's AC 43.13, and other maintenance literature address techniques for finishing and maintaining this kind of surface. Repair and apply coating and finishes on fiberglass in accordance with manufacturer data, STC instructions, or AC 43.13 acceptable practices.